BlueSpecs beer review is going to be just doing my second beer review of the day, which is another New Belgium beer. This is New Belgium's Tartastic. It is a lemon ginger sour. Now, sours for me are an every once in a while thing. Sours or wild ales are every once in a while thing for me. My favorite sours or wild ales and sour ales are kind of similar and kind of different. Kind of depends. But the Love Child by Boulevard, those are like just fantastic. Sours are kind of something that I do like. They're not like something I go crazy for. I go crazy for stouts and IPAs and a lot of other craft beers, but not as much for sours. So we'll see how good this one is. This beer gets a 79 on Beer Advocate. The rows have not looked at it. It is 4.5 alcohol by volume. It is a lemon ginger sour ale. The bottle is sweating really profusely. It says, a refreshing sour ale with lip-tangling sweet and sour flavors of juicy lemon and ginger. So, ever had a sour ale that has had ginger involved? Should be interesting. Ooh, it's active. Like a soda almost. It's active. Oh. It's very active, but it kind of like dissipates a little bit. I am seeing a little bit of stuff at the bottom. And as you can see, the whole thing got a lot cloudier when I swirled and poured in. I'm not sure if I'll like this or not. I mean, most sours I do. I mean, the sours I've had, I don't have a lot of sours, but the ones I've had I really liked, especially the Boulevard Love Child. I've had 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. Okay, so looking at the appearance, the head dissipates pretty immediately, and that can sometimes happen with sours. That's not like with a lot of other beers that I review. Sometimes I think of a head that dissipates quickly as meaning it's not entirely pleasing to the appearance, but a lot of times in sours, this is kind of something that just happens. So we have a very yellowish color, yellowish orange. No, it's like more like yellowish straw, it reminds me, like, the color reminds me of something like Summer Shandy if it was a little more frothier. The smell is a lot like Summer Shandy too, but I bet that this ain't gonna taste like it. It smells very lemony, like lemongrass, or the lemon zest of the rind of the lemon. It's like a spicy aspect to like spices, but I'm not able to place that myself as being ginger. Let's go ahead and give this a taste. I've never had this one before. It does have that sour quality, but not like regular sour ales from sour beer companies, like the companies that produce the big sours. There are a couple ones that come to mind, but it does have that characteristic. But this doesn't make me pucker, I guess is what I'm saying. Not that one. Where is it? There it is. It's not lip tingling. It's not sour, I guess is what I'm saying. It has that, I guess, somewhat like bitter in the sour way, not in the hop way. It has that bitterness, that puckering bitterness, but it does not make you pucker. It's not sour. This beer is not sour. Basically, you get lemon and something that is kind of spicy, but I'm not placing that as ginger. But the beginning starts with that lemon zest, that rind, the lemon itself, and that citrusness, and a little bit of a sweetness to it. And then it kind of crescendos into this spicy thing, which is sort of like, kind of reminds me of when you go to the sushi restaurant and they give you a plate full of sushi, and on the sides of the plate you see wasabi, and then you see these little flowery looking things, these little flowery slices, which are ginger. It is ginger, and it reminds me of that. So, but it's not full on ginger like, with like when you have ginger in something, like the spice or the root itself. So in a way, it is kind of ginger. But I guess those little flowery ginger things are different from the other concept of ginger to me. But that's a different idea. But I was kind of expecting this to really have a sour puckeringness, but it does not have that. It does not have that puckeringness to it. Like if you have the Petrus Wild Ale, the Petrus Wild Red Ale, or if you have any of the Love Child beers from Boulevard, or typically any other sour beer from any craft beer company, it's gonna make you pucker. It's gonna have a dry, puckering thing to it, and that's something I'm only every once in a while in the mood for, and not, where I can drink stouts and IPAs all day. The sour thing is like, every once in a while. This beer has a sort of a dry thing to it, but it's only semi-dry. It's not like that thing, the indescribable thing that a sour beer has, along with the puckering sour thing. Like if you just ate a warhead candy, atomic warheads. Part of my childhood, warheads are, but has a semi-dry finish, sort of like smooth and not really crisp, really, but it's about light to medium. But this beer is kind of not something I would buy a 6-pack of. It's not something I would really want to ever drink again. As if I'm going to have a sour beer, it's going to be a sour beer, let me tell you. A sour beer. Very, very, very sour. If I'm going to have a sour beer, I'm going to have the Love Child or something else like that. So yeah, I mean, for me, this is getting a B-, and that's because it is on the lower end of good. It is somewhat enjoyable. It has somewhat good characteristics. So it is mildly enjoyable, but to me, it's not a sour ale. Might be a wild ale, but not a sour ale. So this beer not being what the style is kind of makes it go down a couple notches for me. But it is mildly good. I think it is worth trying it. Actually, I think somebody who hasn't had a sour beer and wants to know if they might like it, wants to know if they might like a full-on sour wild ale, should probably try this and see if you like this first, and if you do, then move on to more sour beers. So, in my beer reviews, I'm going to start to show some interesting and old items that I have. We'll be first showing off this. This is something I got from my father. It has a little picture, one of Randy Burwell, one of Ozzy Osbourne in it, but you can't really see the pictures because there are concert tickets on both sides. A couple of them are from me that I've gone to, and most of them are from my dad that my dad went to in the 80s. You have here and here my tickets when I went to Rockfest in Iowa in 2009, and I saw Slipknot. This is a ticket from 2006 when I was 16, and my dad took me to see Eric Johnson and Joe Satriani, who's both are great guitar players. This one is my dad's ticket. So besides these three, all these tickets happened before I was born. Now these concerts happened before I was even a thing. So this is Van Halen in '82, Ozzy Osbourne in 1986, Van Halen in '84, Def Leppard 1983, Scorpions 1984, and the Replacements in 1989. 1989, that's probably the closest one to my being a thing. I was born on March 6th of 90, so pretty close to me, but not quite. So this is pretty cool, I think. This is my dad's tickets. I don't remember how I got this, but this is a thing. I'm going to start showing off some cool things I have, and let me know what you think of the beer, and this too, if you like. Didn't mean for that to happen. Thank you for watching.